Podcast P fam, welcome back to another episode of Podcast P presented to you by Prize Picks, a Wave Sports and Entertainment original. As you can see, we are shooting this from the comfort of our home once again because it is playoff mode. And I could not do this episode without my dog T-Man joining the show. I got to shout out my guys, Bunky, Jackie Long, and Bunky Dallas Rutherford.
Yeah.
Hey, and just a heads up, guys, be sure to stay locked in with us on YouTube and hit that subscribe button. And yeah, fellas, how we doing? How we feeling? Let's get right to it. It's been a minute. It's been a week since the last episode.
Hey, I love it because you've been locked in. That's all I can say. I love it when you locked in. I'm ready for the show.
I've been locked.
You've been locked in. You've been locked in. I'm glad we shooting today because you locked in right now. I can tell you're locked in.
Come on,
baby.
How we feeling?
It's been quite the emotional roller coaster this week, but I'm glad we're here. You know, things are feeling good. So I'm happy to be back.
Yeah, the ship was a little rocky, but you know, we got a chance to come back and even this thing out 2-2 going into game 5. So we feel pretty good about where we're at in this position right now.
Rocky is good though. Rocky is good.
I want to start.
Rocky is good though, Bunky.
Rockiness is good. You need a little bit. You need a little bit of this. You need a little bit of this.
You got to go through that. You got to go through that. You know, I like that.
Get in on the playoff action and win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks as you and the world's best players take the game to a new level during basketball's postseason.
You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks. That's 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into $1,000 with basketball, hockey, and college. Basketball entries today on Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app.
All right, Jackie, let's make this fun. Do you want to do a couple more or less projections for the Knicks versus 76ers game tonight?
Mm-hmm.
More or less, Jackie, on Joel Embiid, 32.5 points.
Going more.
Okay, Jackie's got more. More or less, Jalen Brunson, 8 assists. Where are you going?
I'm going more.
Okay, yep. I like those picks.
Yep. It's your turn, Dallas. I got one from the other two tonight. Okay, more or less, Donovan Mitchell, 24 points tonight versus the Magic.
That's a lock. More
or less, Miles Turner for 8.5 rebounds versus the Bucks.
Ooh, Giannis is out. I'm going to go more on Miles Turner, 8.5 rebounds as well. So I think we all took the over here.
See how easy that was? I can make my picks and submit my entry in less than 60 seconds.
Guys, go download the app today and use our promo code PODCASTP for a first deposit match up to $100. I repeat, download the app today and use code PODCASTP for a first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
Easy.
I just wanted to rewind to game 3. I know everyone, you know, we're going to talk about both games, but for game 3 first, you were in foul trouble early. Team was down double digits. Westbrook gets ejected out the game, which I don't know if you watched the replays, P, but it was, did you see when he looked into the camera that was like 2 feet from his face after all that? It was hilarious.
No, I didn't see it.
It was like he's doing his thing, and then the last view you have of Russell Westbrook is like him looking into the camera. He was right up. Someone had a camera, and he went right up into it and was just like mean mugging whoever that cameraman was. But
I got it. I'm sure it's on Twitter or something.
It's there. I'll send it to you. But P, in that game, how do you, kind of overcome that? While you're in the midst of that, I'm sure, it's probably a little bit more difficult. But looking back at that game, how do you stay locked in during that specific game, battling the foul trouble? The fans are going crazy. And then more importantly, how do you, rebound, which you obviously did, but the weight of the world, the Clipper season, is kind of on your shoulders now, and James, and obviously the other part of the team. But how do you get through that game, and then how do you get past that game and ready for the next one?
It was a lot to take in, right? Because I came out, I felt really good going into game 3, because this is off a rebound of game 2, right? I wanted to be more aggressive. I wanted to be more assertive. I wanted to be in attack mode early. I wanted to find my rhythm early. I didn't like the performance in game 2, right? So, and obviously they felt good beating us on our floor game 2. So going into game 3, I had already had preset of how I wanted to come out and perform. And I felt good to start the game off. Obviously, I get in foul trouble, which changed the whole foundation or the landscape of how I played the rest of that game. And no excuses. I did a poor job because fact of the matter is I could have continued on trying to be aggressive and play my game and still assert myself. But there was a lot of overthinking, right? Because when you get in foul trouble, now you're not playing the minutes that you want to play. You're coming out early, so your rhythm is off, your timing is off. And then now the whole time you're behind the 8 ball. And I was constantly picking up a foul to put me back on the bench. Or, it was just time and time. Every time I stepped on the floor, I was picking up a cheap foul. And so it's a balance of like trying to find that aggression, trying to find that assertiveness while like I didn't want to force anything and now throw everybody else off, right? Taking shots just because now I'm trying to play catch up, cause turnovers because I'm trying to play catch up or pick up another cheap foul, being aggressive, going to the rim. As you saw, they were in game 4, they were giving me cheap push-off calls, which let's be honest, there's a lot of that going on the other team as far as using their body to shield defenders, right? And so they were calling me for those. So that was in my mind of not picking up those cheap fouls too. So it was a lot of overthinking going on. No excuses. I did a poor job of balancing that and being in position to not pick up those calls. Fast forward into game 4, I had a mental note to just, not be in bad positions to give up cheap fouls. But also just knowing how I felt going into game 3 to carry that over into game 4 and just be extra aggressive and, really take full advantage of the time I'm on the floor, especially with Kawhi not being able to play. And so I was locked in. I was locked in from the moment that ball was tipped up to go out and dominate. And I was able to do so.
In playoffs, I've watched every game. And it just seems to me as a fan that there has been a lot going on with the refereeing. Just from a player's perspective, do you feel like you've heard more chatter around your peers, the coaches, just the league in general on maybe some interesting refereeing throughout all the playoff series, not just yours?
Yeah. I mean, I think there's been some challenging calls. You look at what happened in that Knicks Philly game. There was a controversial call.
D'Lo in the face
with the Lakers in Denver. D'Lo in Denver. That foul being called back, which we all saw
Zubac
was a
gets
foul.
hacked.
The multiple fouls on Zubac that they deemed not fouls, but then as you can see off replays, are fouls. Who am I to, this has been going on. This league's been around for multiple years, many years. This has always been a thing, right? Of people claiming or thinking they're not getting the fair whistle, which whatever way it goes, who am I to try to change that, right? All we can do is just play the game and try to go out and change the outcome the best way that we can and not rely on the officials to change the outcome. So but that's the thing, right? That is a thing of, getting a fair whistle, especially in the playoffs.
Yeah, it just, again, just no comment from you after this. It just seems to me like there's like a light on it this year for whatever reason, at least in my opinion, watching. And I'm not even talking about your guys' game. I've watched every game, and it just seems different to me. This year specifically seems like there was an out of bounds call where they challenged it, where the ref didn't even see it was out of, they overturned. Like he thought the ball hit the line and it was like it just seems weird to me, but thank you for your insight on that. I was just curious.
Yeah. And I think to your point, I think it's just a lot more people are invested. So I think it's the reason why there's a lot more chatter around it. A lot more people are invested in what's going on with where the NBA is and where playoffs are in today's league. I just think a lot more people are invested in what's going on. And, if LeBron is unhappy about calls, then I sure as hell don't got no room to say anything. And so at that point, I just got to keep playing.
Well, P, you had mentioned after game 3, you said you had a rhythm, but we all seen that you had a rhythm of fouls that game. But game 4, your ass had a hell of a rhythm going on with having 26 points the first half and making 6 of 9 3-pointers. Yeah. I mean, damn, P. Let me know, Pete. What games do you tell yourself like I'm gonna come out this game and be more aggressive? Because the way you was balling, Pete, like game 4 was like, what the hell did you tell yourself? What? In.
Yeah, I saw it game 3. Like I said, I started out, I was getting into my spots. I was finding rhythm. I was finding places where I could get off to a good start. And then I got in foul trouble and wasn't able to play the way I wanted to play to start the game off. And so game 4, I just knew like, all right, I got to come out and still try to hunt and find that aggression and find that comfort zone that I was in. And I was able to do so. I thought I was able to take advantage of the opportunities and I played my style of basketball. Like all of those shots I was comfortable taking. It was in my rhythm. And it would just came down to me to just, making the shots and knocking them down. But I'm always in attack mode. I try to start every game in attack mode. At times it can be tough, right? Because we have so much firepower that, trying to find that rhythm can be challenging at times. But, I'm always trying to push the envelope and just be aggressive to start games off.
When you say you were in rhythm in game 3, you said you felt like you had a good rhythm. Is that more like in warm-ups you were feeling good? And correct me if I'm wrong, but just watching it, you picked up those fouls pretty quickly. I'm not sure you scored maybe one bucket before. Was it just that before you got the 2? Was it just that one bucket that you felt like you had rhythm, or was it your warm-ups that you felt good?
Yeah.
Why do you say you had good rhythm in game 3?
Yeah, I felt great in warm-ups, and then to start the game off, I hit a big shot, a big 3 ball on the right wing, and then I got into my dribble package with a step back, like at the free throw line, and those are the shots that, like, I feel good about. I'm getting to my spots, and I know when I'm in control of the game and in control of my flow, and I just felt like I was in really good flow at that point. And I came out, I don't know, maybe 7 minutes on the clock. And, it was like every time I got back in, another quick whistle. And so it was never a moment where I was like, all right, let me brush that off. Let me try to find this rhythm again. It was always just like trying to play catch up and playing behind the whole time.
Well, P, speaking of shots, I'm going to take you back to game 4, man. You hit a shot and it went viral. And I want to know, come on, P, was this because your boy PJ Washington saved 3? Were you coming at him or what? Tell me, P, what was that all about?
No, honestly, it was, there was like some fans sitting courtside. And I'm sure there's footage, or maybe somebody can pull it up. There was fans that were sitting courtside, and something had happened. Maybe it was like a loose ball or a scuffle, small scuffle. Something had happened, and those fans stood up and they started doing, the little mug shit. And so it was after I made that 3, it was literally in the same spot where those fans are sitting courtside. And so I looked over it and looked at them. And that was directed towards them. I got nothing to do with him.
Is that the new
with
standard?
PJ? It was more of those.
Can it be the new standard?
No. That's not my celly. That's not my celly. That's not my celly.
Okay, that makes sense. I was going to call a cap on this whole entire story, but that seems completely believable. But Pete, you typically, I've watched you play basketball a long time, since high school. You are not one to interact with fans chirping. I don't see that a lot from you. And not only did you do it on the left side of the court in the first half, but you hit the pump fake. You said something, it sounded like you were talking to JJ Redick saying it don't matter. I was like, man, he's got to be feeling good out there because you never do that stuff. And even on the other end, on the big shot in the fourth quarter, you said something to those fans too.
Yeah.
Was it just a feel thing and you were just in the moment? And even when you hit that shot, because again, the fact that was a tough shot, but I think there was a foul called on the other end and you were still talking either with the referee. I don't know what you were saying, but you just seemed to have a different spirit during that game. And I loved every second of it, but it just didn't, I don't see that a lot from you.
Yeah, I was in a pissed off spirit. Like I was in a pissed off mood. I was in a pissed off, kind of just attitude. And I wasn't going to be denied. I was just locked in. And at times emotions get the best of you. And I was emotionally, fully invested in that game. And, I told JJ, it don't matter. At that point, it does not matter. You can send 2 guys at me, 3 guys. Like I had a will to win and I wanted to win that game and it mattered to get off to a good start. Yeah, it's funny that after hitting that corner 3, the person I was talking to was actually Kyrie's dad. So after I made that corner 3, Kyrie's dad is sitting in that corner. And after I made that 3, Kyrie's dad looks at me and he's like, right? So I'm like, yeah, Pops, I got that too.
Kyrie actually mentioned you in his post-game P, and he's like, man, when I see Paul George, when those guys get going and he hits a pump fake 3, it's like you're in some trouble basically. But that he didn't say nothing. You just saw his reaction to the shot.
His dad was like stank face. And I was like, yeah, Pops, I got that too. And
that's good.
Yeah, man, shout out Kai, man. He's one of the guys that I truly respect. We work out and we had a lot of playing in the off seasons where we train at the same facility. And so, I got a great chance to just guard him and play against one of the best one-on-one players that you can play as my training in the summers in the off season. And I think it kind of helps in this position now where I've seen it. I've been able to fail in practice to where now I'm a little bit more comfortable in those situations of guarding him. But he is a shot maker.
Bro, what is he on?
It's not fair.
It doesn't seem real. It does not seem like there is not another player in the league that does that stuff.
The same way I said to JJ, it doesn't matter. For Kai, it doesn't matter. He is a shot maker. It's just, and like some of the threes he's making are deep threes. And it's like, man, you're not even known for that. But it's just, he has that clutch gene and that clutch factor of like, he's the ultimate confident, has the ultimate confidence that he can make and take any shot. And, he's living with those results. But he's special, man. Kai is definitely special.
I'm going to need you to lock in next time you're on help side. When the shot clock's winding down, I'm going to need you to be a little bit more locked right there.
Yeah.
I know you were mad at yourself that play. I
looked at Kai and I said, fuck, loud as hell. Like, I know I gave that one up. But it caught me off guard. The ball swung so fast and then he caught it. And I'm preparing, for him to take a quick drive at me.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. There was enough time where you have to.
I gotta respect the drive.
That's the best shot you could give him, in my opinion, because he
just launched it, and I was on my heels, like I was ready to retreat and play defense. I was literally on my heels, and he just raised up, and it was like I was stuck.
He's crazy, bro. Wild.
P, the biggest shot of that game was that step back 3 that your ass made. Please, P, just do me a favor, man, and walk us all through that, man. What was you thinking when you shot that?
Yeah, that play was actually from a broken play. James threw the ball over top. I mishandled it, and so it was going to be an easy layup because I had Derrick Jones playing on my top side. And all I had to do was just turn around, catch, and go up for the easy layup. But I fumbled the pass, and that led the ball to almost go out of bounds. And I was kind of aware of the clock at that time. I think the clock was winding down. And I know their defensive situations, right? They're going to tilt and force the player to kind of, get the ball out of their hands, because I saw their big man tilting over as I'm stuck in the corner. So I'm watching him. So I was thinking he was going to come to trap. So I'm kind of waiting to see what he does. He didn't come to trap. So I knew it was a one-on-one with Derek. And, at that point, all I saw was just the open space. And that open space was to that right corner. And I'm comfortable shooting any shot. Like, I can almost get to any shot I want to get to, whether it's running away to the right hand, running away to the left hand. I can almost free myself and get a good look going any direction. And so I just knew I saw space to the right of me. And, I just hit him with a step back going to my right. It's a shot I work on. It's cash money.
I think that's definitely by far, and you tell me if you agree, do you think that's one of the best shots of your career? Like, hands down?
It's definitely one of the bigger shots. I know it wasn't like a game winner, but it was a moment, I think, right after Kai took the lead with that tough layup. I think that was probably the next possession after we called a timeout. And so, I missed that shot. Who knows? They had momentum after that Kai shot. I think that definitely took some momentum from them, because I don't think we lost the lead from that moment on. So that was one of the biggest shots of the game for sure, and one of the biggest of my careers.
P, I want to know, because it looked like it from TV, it looked like you shot the shot from behind the backboard. Were you behind the backboard when you shot the shot?
I kind of was. So, like, the shot difficulty on that, and again, this is things I work on. The shot difficulty on that, I had to release the ball a little earlier than usual. Like, usually a fade, I can hang and hold it for a little longer before releasing. But because I knew I was fading out in that corner, the backboard is kind of, more forward, so that, like, you can get stuck behind the backboard and that ball could possibly hit the side of the backboard or hit behind the backboard and go out of bounds from that angle. And so I knew that going to that right, that I had to kind of release that ball a little earlier. And I didn't want to get stuck trying to hold on to it. Now he's contesting, and then now I'm in trouble. So yeah, it was a little bit like I was a little bit behind the backboard when I made that shot.
Going right was the most, like, I don't think people realize, like, most right-handed shooters, they want to step back going left, just most. But to be able to do the step back, and it reminded me of the pump fake shot, because it wasn't like just a clean step back. You almost threw the ball out a little bit like you did on that left side of the court. It was the same type of shot where you didn't step back 1-2 into it. It was like a step back, let it hang 2 feet and let it fly. I don't think people realize how tough of a shot that is, going to your right with a hand in your face. It was incredible, bro. Good job, man.
Hey, thank you. Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
He knew that shit was going in. He knew it.
I felt good. After it released my hands, I did feel good about the shot. I ain't gonna lie. I felt good about it.
Yeah, confidence.
In the same game, you guys obviously started out hot, okay? And you guys end up going up 31 points. And I'm watching the game. I'm like, there's no way. Like, we're feeling good. Everyone's feeling good. And let's not forget about James here. Regardless of his floaters, he was hitting threes too. You guys were cooking. But the announcer, I remember this vividly, but he, when you guys went up 31, they spoke about how the biggest comeback in NBA playoff history, it would have tied 31 point. And I remember listening to that, right? I'm like, no, they didn't just say that. Like, here we go. And I even posted a photo, P, and this is good, YT, the producer. But when you did this thing, it was all over the internet, all over. And so I went ahead. I don't care if I'm P's friend or not. I don't care if it looks bad, if it's coming from me. Like, it's all over the internet anyways. I posted it. YT's at the game, mind you. But he's at the game and sees my story.
What'd he say?
And YT calls me, goes, take it down. Take it, like basically was like, why didn't you wait till the end of the game? Like, take it down, bro.
Everybody in the world seen it.
And this is while you guys are the lead is dwindling now. Yeah. And I'm sitting there like,
should I take it down?
Man, should I take this thing down, bro? Like, man, I don't want it to be a bad look. But I told YT, I said, they're going to win the game. They're going to win the game. But My question is, the announcers, P, were talking about how loud it was. Was that one of the loudest arenas that you've been in, that specific game? Like that game, how loud was it in there?
It was pretty loud. It's not the loudest arena I've been in, but it was pretty loud. When they were making their push and they started to cut the lead to down 20, down 10, under 10, down under 5, took the lead. Like it was definitely going crazy in there. It was pandemonium. That was allowed. It was a hostile environment for sure. But I think, people don't understand how difficult it is to keep leads in the NBA. It's the reason it happens time and time after, again, teams lose leads because the opposing team, they have to do something different, right? You have to play harder. You have to, change a scheme up. Like, you're going to make adjustments where the team that's winning, you relax a little bit. There's a little bit more of a cushion. Whereas you're the losing team, there's not much of a cushion. So every opportunity, every possession matters, and you key in on that, right? Whereas the other team, they become a little bit more relaxed. And so, it's and we've obviously felt good being up 31, but we knew that they were going to make a run and they were going to have a run of their own. And we didn't necessarily think they would cut it to being up one, but we knew that, this game isn't going to be a 31-point blowout win, especially with what they have over there, that firepower that they have over there. But it's one of the hardest things, especially during playoffs, is holding leads, especially big leads.
How different is it now in this stage of your career compared to in the beginning of your career? Because we've always talked about on the show how the NBA has changed. It's a 3-point, league. That obviously contributes to how these leads are dwindling so much now, is because it's a shooting league.
Yeah.
But was there a big difference earlier in your career being able to keep a lead rather than now? Would you say it's more difficult to keep a lead now than when you first got into the NBA?
Absolutely. Because you got to think, back then there was 2 bigs on the floor. So and then there wasn't volume 3-point shooters. Like, you might have one volume 3-point shooter on your team. You might have a couple of, decent 3-point shooters, and then they were bigs. You know what I mean? And so there wasn't that many possessions back then, and the game was played at a slower pace. And so, I remember back then, like, you could take, like, if you were up 25, 30 points, you could pretty much take your starters out the fourth quarter. Like, coaches weren't playing their starters in the fourth quarter when you were up big.
That's crazy.
Back then. Now you have to keep your starters in probably until like 3-4 minutes on the clock, just because of the 3-point line and teams playing faster and teams spreading the floor out, And so it's definitely a lot trickier and a lot tougher to maintain leads in today's NBA, opposed to, back at least when I first came in the league.
I love it. Yeah, that was I was drained, bro. At the end of that game, like,
it was a lot. But those be the most fun games to be a part of, bro. Because it is, for what it is. Like, when you take a step back and you're in that moment and you're like, damn, Kai's going crazy. Damn, James going crazy. Damn, Luka's making tough plays. Like, it's so much going on, and you get wrapped in the game, and it's like, yeah, this is like, I can't wait to step up. I can't wait to have a moment in this game. I can't wait to help my team win. Like, those are the games that you're like, man, this is fun.
It was a movie. It was a movie game.
The environment.
It was a movie game.
It was a movie game, man.
It was a movie game.
It was a movie game.
It was a win for the NBA. That was just peak basketball. It was awesome.
Y'all did a lot of things that game. Y'all made history. We already know you and James did y'all thing that game. You know what I'm saying? Y'all put that whole damn team on y'all back. But at the end of the day, nobody probably didn't even notice y'all did something for the first time in Clipper history.
What we did.
Combined together in the playoffs. Both of y'all had 0.5 rebounds and 5 assists. Now, I got to be nosy. You and Jay have a direct conversation about game 4 or the fourth quarter, like, we going to do this, brother. We going to do the same thing. Like, tell me a little bit about that, P.
Yeah, we did. Me and H definitely had a conversation going down the wire that fourth quarter. I looked over at him and I was, he had it going offensively down the stretch. And I looked over at him. I was like, man, take us home. I'll get us the stops. You take us home. And he was like, bet, I got you, P. And that was what was said. We went out from like 4 or 5 minutes on, and we put the game away. But we literally had that conversation where I asked him, take us home. I will get you the stops. All right. Take us home. And he went and delivered. He went and delivered. He definitely went and delivered.
Y'all killed out there, man.
But all game, all series, H comes to H, is like, P, man, I need you to be a killer. I need you to be a killer. Go kill. All series and all every game, he comes up to me and tell me that.
That's the type of game I wish I was there to see that in person. That was amazing. Like how you just was, it was amazing.
P, you're going to have to watch. I'm excited. Maybe you've watched it or not, but you need to watch it on like TNT. Like that, it was, you would enjoy watching that game again. Just that the broadcast was awesome. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like that's a game you're going to show Vuk one day, bro. 100%. That is a game. Like,
if he not sleep, Dallas,
when you slack on defense in the second quarter.
You go, bro.
I'm a little disappointed. I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed in Mike Breen.
Who you say?
Because
is that one of the announcers?
Yeah,
what did he say?
What did he say?
I didn't get a bang. He does the bang.
Yeah, I think he was so shook.
Yeah,
come on, Mike.
I didn't get the bang for that corner three.
Come on, Mike.
That was bang worthy.
Bang, man.
I think he just said, "Oh."
I thought that corner three was bang worthy.
Confusing game, bro.
It was bang worthy.
James summed it up well, P, at the end of the game, and he said, and I quote, "It's like watching elite, skilled Hall of Fame basketball players going at it. There's only so much you can do defensively." Have you taken a moment, and I know it's got to be tough, but do you even realize the magnitude of that moment when you're in it? You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing to watch it and be like, wow, that was dope. But when you were in that game, and you did mention it a little bit, did you know that was like a classic?
No, not from a viewership standpoint, but I think you felt how much that game meant to both sides. I think from that standpoint, being on the floor, you felt that of the magnitude of what that meant for both teams to win that game. But from a viewership standpoint, you don't really know or realize how good a game is until you actually watching it and you notice, like, damn, that was a tough shot after tough shot. Like, damn, if he misses that shot, that's a whole different outcome. And I felt like that for like the last 5-6 minutes when shots were going down. Any one of those shots changed the outcome for the next possession or the next minute or the next, 2 minutes within that game. Each basket was like so timely that, like, again, if we missed any of those, if Kai misses some of those shots, like, we easily might go up 10 points again. If I miss some of those shots, we go down. If James missed some of those shots, those shots were just so timely down the stretch that you recognize how much it meant to both sides. And we weren't, like, each side wasn't afraid of the moment. I will say that. But it was definitely a clash of titans.
So, P, you just mentioned that you told James you would get the stop, and there was a possession when Kyrie was going crazy in the fourth when you were able to block that 3-point shot. Walk us through that play and what was going on in your mind at that moment.
It's actually funny because after I blocked it, right, we go back down, and it was like a dead ball, and Kyrie goes to me like, where were you? Like, did you go under the screen or did you go over the screen? Like, and I was like, shit, I vanished and I popped back up and I blocked it.
You told him you
Yeah.
vanished?
Back up.
Because I didn't want to give him I didn't want him to all right, he's going under the screens. Like, I didn't want to give him a little advantage. Like,
Oh, that's
so I was
funny.
like, nah, bro, I vanished and then reappeared and blocked that shit. But
talk about magic, man. He's probably like, man.
But nah, he actually, it was in game 1, I believe. It was game 1 or game 2. I can't remember, but it was in LA. I had a similar situation. And it's crazy that like my mind processed it that quick. He had a play in game 1 or game 2 where he came off quick off a pick and roll and shot a 3 right behind the screen. And I was like a second late, but it was one of those moments where you're pissed at yourself. Like, P, you could have went and blocked that. Like, you could have fought a little harder to get around that screen and got a hand on that. And so it was crazy how a split second I processed that going around this screen, and I was like, shit, this is that play again. And it was just like, fuck, I'm gonna go for it. And as he came off clean, he was wide open. He came off clean, but I was able to get around that screen, and I was like, man, just go for it. And so I reached out and was able to block it from behind. And I think we got a fast break opportunity out of that. But it was on my mind that he made a shot on me previously in this series.
Yeah, I really enjoyed, obviously watching him, but I don't know if you got a chance to see his post game stuff, which I know can be difficult, especially after a game like that. There's a winner and a loser. You got to go in there. You're getting questions about Kawhi, and they're getting questions about what happened. But it was kind of at least in my opinion, it felt like a full circle moment, because I remember when Kyrie was in Cleveland and LeBron was kind of the spokesperson for that team. And LeBron is fantastic. Well, as of it's arguable now, but LeBron's good at, protecting his teammates and saying the right things. It's like LeBron always says the right thing, it seems like. But I enjoyed, just on a human level, after a game like that, he really protected Luka. And I think that you could kind of just see a full circle moment where now Kyrie's the leader on that team. He is the leader. He's been in the NBA longer. Obviously, Luka's a whole nother conversation, but I really enjoyed watching Kyrie speak well about his teammates after a loss like that. So I've never met Kyrie, but that it made me even more of a fan, just because it seems like he's just a good dude. But last Kyrie, we got to touch on, P, that layup that he had. The Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant-esque, I don't even know what you want to call it, you, T-Man, and James. Walk us through that play. Did you even it looked like you guys had him sandwiched.
Yeah, I saw him driving down the lane, and T-Man is like right on his hip. So I'm watching it like, where is he going with this? Like, T-Man is on this. James is low man. Like, where is he going with this ball? He took off, and it was kind of like, yeah, I'm in the vicinity. I'll just put a hand in just to throw him off even more, like, and just be a body there. But he showed it, and then I don't know how he had enough to get it over to the right hand to flip it up.
He went to the poster store.
But I mean that he got some VC or something. But I mean that just is another, touch to his greatness and how good he is, and how, the legend grows of one of the most gifted finishers in the league history. His ability to be 6'2", 6'1", 6'2", his ability to finish and be that size is, there's no one I've seen finish on the level that he finishes.
Y'all better be lucky he not.
It just lasts to the legend.
6'7". He'd be a real
We are
problem.
lucky. Yeah. We're very lucky.
I think the announcer even said something like, man, if this guy was 6'6", and you always hear those guys like, well, if I was 6'9", I'd be in the NBA. Mm-hmm. The announcer was like, if Kyrie was 6'6", 6'7", I don't even know what to say. He might be considered. I don't know what would happen if that guy was 6'7".
Like
absolutely. But you got to take into account.
Lose a little speed.
I mean, when you're that size, you learn different skill sets,
True.
right? And so him being smaller, him being shorter, I'm sure developed that skill set because he's not going to finish over you at this point. He's got to finish around you, under you. So I think, you develop a skill set because of your physical abilities. And so, I mean, who's to say? I mean, he might still have that layup package. Okay, a little Sprite.
he like that dude on your shirt. That's who Kyrie like
AI
there.
for
Allen
sure.
Iverson.
Yeah.
I mean, bro, the stuff he was doing,
It's amazing.
it was crazy. That was the craziest game I've ever watched, I think. I mean,
we was in the group chat. What did I say? Stop literally like on a dime and did some move and did, I don't know how he be doing it. Like going that fast.
He did the little where he thought he was going to bring it up.
I told him the coldest play he did was game 2 in LA. He had he was coming down the right lane. He did like a fake pass. He did like a fake pass to the corner. I don't know what. He did like a fake pass, wrapped around, fake shot into a lob. And I think someone missed the lob, but it was just so much wizardry going on.
He doesn't even have to shoot the ball, and you have when I've never really watched him. I've watched him live, but something about these last 2 games, he doesn't even have to shoot it. He might just do something basic that you're just kind of looking at him like, oh my gosh. But the best move of the game, and all the IG refs might have a different opinion of this. I had a conversation today with someone about this. I didn't think it was a travel. It's right on that cusp of when you take that gather step. Mm-hmm. But James Harden's footwork on that one where Luka was going like this.
Tough. That was tough.
That was nasty.
That was tough. That was like a sideways Euro. Like, I don't even know what to call
crazy,
that. It was like a
bro.
sideways,
he went
lateral
he
Euro. Boom, it then brought it over here. It was tough. That was tough.
It was crazy.
That was tough. All right, y'all. That was fun wrapping it up and talking, playoff talk with y'all. But I got my dog T-Man on the other line. So let's holler at my young fella. The Connect is sponsored by AT&T. Stay connected to what matters most with AT&T. As promised, we got my young fella, Terence Mann, to come join the set today. T-Man, how we feeling, Brody?
Good, man. Better. Feeling better.
Better after going 2-2, right?
Better.
Getting that dub, coming back home to LA, even that thing out.
Yep.
Love that. Love that. You at the crib? Where we at?
I'm at the crib chilling.
Okay.
Vibing.
We got to get some artwork back there.
And dude look a little plain back there. You could have picked a better spot.
Going on over there.
Better spot in your house, man, for sure. You could have.
No, we do gotta shout T-Man out. We gotta congratulate him because he is an official first-time homeowner.
Hey,
so we do gotta shout that out. We do gotta shout that out. That's worth giving some love to.
T-Man, what about the dog? I thought I saw on social media. Did you adopt a dog?
Nah. I bought a Cane Corso because my house is too big and I need somebody patrolling my house at night.
Is he well behaved? Has it been difficult training him?
No, he's good. He's good. He's well behaved. It hasn't been that bad. He goes off to school for 2 weeks at a time, comes back, so he's good.
What kind of dog is it?
Cane Corso.
Big dog.
Do they shed? Do they shed a lot? Because I got crazy because I got allergies and shit. You gotta say I got this.
He do got allergies.
Like a motherfucker. I'll be over there. T-Man.
His tongue started to get itchy.
I'll be like, "Yeah, Bucky, why you making all that noise?" Shit. Yeah, but yeah, good on y'all making it back to LA. But with all that said, I gotta be nosy, T-Man. This question gonna go for you and P. Okay, T-Man, y'all know y'all just came off of back from spending 5 days in Dallas, which was good. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to spend a lot of time together. And I wanted to know between you and PG insight in the life of being on the playoffs on the road.
Well, for me, I feel like it's a lot more downtime than being home. Like I feel like I'm more by myself, just chilling in the room, watching TV shows, YouTube, film. Like it's a lot more downtime than I feel like being at home. I don't know about for Pete, but for me, for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely more downtime. As you know, we'll probably see later. Lil Man might make an appearance, but at home, you know, kids want to kick it. They want to spend time, and which I love having family time, spending it with my wife, my little ones. But actually, on the road in Dallas, I actually got out and played golf 2 days while we were out there. You know, it was great weather there. I was able to get out there and play. I probably played like 14, 13 holes on both days, 9 holes on one day, and then like 14 on another day. So it was good. I got out and played some good golf.
That's a lot.
And kind of just got out the room, got some fresh air.
Oh.
It was a lot of golf, but it was fun. I had a lot of fun playing golf out there. They got some beautiful courses in Dallas.
Did you play with Daniel Tice?
Yeah. Me, DT, B Shaw. We got out there. Mark Hughes. We got out there and we played a good little round of golf. Man, it was good times.
So T-Man, a lot of NBA fans are recognizing your defensive skills this series. You're having to guard Luka. You're doing a fantastic job. But what's your internal approach to guarding a guy like Luka? And from a taxing standpoint, is it more like you're physically taxed, or is it more of a mental challenge when you're guarding him?
Shit, it ain't easy. I'll tell you that. I think it's more mental than anything with him, because he's gonna make the tough shots. He's gonna take the tough shots, and you see them go in. You think you're playing good defense. You see them go in. It's just like, it's tough. You know, the pump fake, he gonna get you a couple times in the series. He got P a couple times.
Couple times.
I don't know why he got P. I told him to stay down. On the move, I told him to stay down on. He still jumped. But yeah, I think mentally it's just taxing. But a lot of film is helping me out. And the coaches, for sure.
Yeah, I think it's great that with so many like defensive minded guys on the team, it's kind of fun to kind of share. It's like we all have and take our own notes. And at the end of the quarter, end of the game, end of the day, we kind of like share notes with each other of what we've collected of like how to guard guys. And so I think that is kind of a benefit that we have and a luxury that we have with so many good defenders on our team, is that we can, hey, when he does this, look for that. When he has the ball on this side, he's looking to do more of this. Like, so it is like a cool thing that we kind of like, we did this yesterday. We did this after game 3 of like coming together, like, hey, if you do this, we might have success with that. I won't give up too much of the conversation, but a little tidbit behind that. We do talk and communicate and kind of share notes with each other.
It looks like you guys have been playing each other tough. And I'm just curious, how much background, because Luka's had to play the Clippers throughout his playoff history, it seems like. And it looked like there was a video of you guys getting chippy earlier in your rookie season. But is he the type of guy that's talking trash? Like, what's his vibe out there when he's playing?
There's a lot of dialogue, but it's not as much trash talking as it used to be. I think over the years, everybody kind of gained each other's respect, and it's not as harsh as it was when it started. So it's just a lot of random dialogue about the game. But it used to be crazy. It used to be real crazy.
Yeah, them two used to get into it every game.
Yeah, it used to be crazy. It could be a regular season game on a Thursday in January where we're talking crazy. But nah, it's not crazy now.
Now PJ is on his list.
Who's on his list? Come on, we need some insight here.
PJ Washington. Now PJ Washington is on T-Man's list.
Nah, I'm not messing with him. He got his little thing. He got his little picks off. He got his picks for the gram and stuff. He's feeling good and stuff. So I'm gonna let him
have that. Okay.
Yeah. Interesting.
Look, it's been 24 hours since Game 4, and Game 5 is scheduled for Wednesday. Now I need to know this because I'm a little nosy, and I'm curious, P. In the second half, you played 24 minutes. I want to know, what is the recovery process that y'all go through when y'all got back-to-back games after back, and y'all doing this during the playoffs, man? Like, what's the recovery process? How do y'all handle this?
the team travels with like a travel cold tub sort of thing. And so after the game, I sat in the cold tub for about 10 minutes. Still trying to get T-Man to learn that.
10 minutes? Is that accurate? I just want to 10 minutes.
Yeah, 10 minutes straight.
Okay.
1 minute.
So I sat in the cold tub for about 10 minutes for recovery.
Okay.
I got a little massage. I actually started cramping a little bit on the flight back, taking a nap. And out of nowhere, my leg just started cramping out. It woke me up out of my nap on the flight home. But, I when it's playoff time, I try to like really lock into recovery. I try to really lock in getting mentally and physically prepared for the next game. I'm always looking ahead right after the game is over. So, but I mean, to be honest, I wasn't really that tired. Playing 24 minutes straight in that second half, I wasn't really that tired. I guess since I didn't play that much game 3, I had a little left in the tank to play game 4. So I wasn't as tired as I thought I would be. And then it helped. Obviously, James got hot. James took over the game, so I didn't have to exert much energy on both ends. It was more so just guarding Kai down the stretch that I could have saved some energy on offense.
And what about you, T-Man?
I think everything he said, but the cold tub, I ain't doing that. But the Normatex, the massages.
Do you ice your knees at least? Like, do you do ice packs?
Yeah, I'll do some ice, occasionally. Okay. But
he don't understand that until he like 30, 31, 32 years old. And you're going to be like, damn, I wish I was doing this a lot earlier.
Hey, man, what about in college? Did you take ice packs?
It's not fun for me. Like, it's not fun for me.
It's a pain for 1 minute. And then after that minute, it just numbs up. It goes away.
Yeah.
1 minute. Just take a towel, bite down on that towel for 1 minute, and scream.
Like, hell no.
Then you done.
T-Man, no ice baths in college? I feel like that's like a routine thing in college. You didn't take ice baths in college?
Nah, I do them sometimes. It's not like I'm not going in the cold tub, but I'm not doing them after games and before practice.
Right.
Like, it's not in my regular routine.
Okay.
I'll do them like once every 2 weeks.
Once every
Yeah, that's just sounds.
You gotta make a bet with him, P.
At that point, is like once every 2 weeks. That's not giving your like if you did it like twice, 3 times a week, your body would get so used to it that like you wouldn't even think it's cold anymore. Your body would just be used to it. But once every 2 weeks, you don't even give your body a chance to get used to it anymore.
Twice a week, though. I mean,
twice a week. Just do it right after the game. Just jump right in there. We got the hot tub at the facility. Jump in the hot tub first. Warm your body up, and then you jump in the cold tub.
He gonna wait till y'all at the into it. That's when he gonna get into it. That's
when he gonna do it at the into
wait
it.
Till y'all get into it. That's what it is. He want to use all that new facility stuff. I know how you do it, T-Man. You ain't. You ain't slick.
And T-Man, I actually remember P talking about it. I believe it was the New Year's party, but he mentioned to you that, hey, it's a new year. You obviously didn't start off shooting the basketball great to start the season. But as soon as P told you at that New Year's party that it was going to be a new year, a new you, you've been knocking down the 3-point shot. And this series specifically, you've shot over 50% from the 3-point line. I want to know what it's like having to guard Luka, but also be reliable to knock down those 3-point shots. Because when I'm watching the game, it really defeats that opponent when P and James are doing their thing, and then they have the role players knocking down shots. Talk about that balance, how you're approaching the game on the defensive side and the offensive side.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to my teammates, man. They stay on me. They stay on me every chance they get about ball and staying involved on the offensive end. That's just what it is. It's my teammates. They just stay on me. They want me to shoot it when I'm open. They want me to, shoot them corner threes. And for me, it don't come second nature, because that hasn't been my game my whole life. It's just, I'm always used to either being a point guard, trying to get downhill, trying to go dunk the ball and stuff like that. But, these guys, they believe in me. I believe in myself, and I'm just, letting it fly every chance I get. But it's not easy. It's not easy for me. And Pete could tell you that.
Yeah, it's good. It's good problems to have when you got guys mad at you for not shooting. Those are good problems to have. We actually had a conversation yesterday at the game where he had a play where he could have shot the ball if he had stayed in the corner. And I just had to tell him, like, we know you love dunking. We get it. We love you dunking. Sometimes you just got to, accept the spacing and shoot those corner threes. And, that's just going to open up his dunks. Once he start knocking those down, guys running out at him. Now the world is in his hands. So, right. We want T-Man to play his game. That's first and foremost, wherever he's comfortable at. But I think if he shot more threes, it'll open his old game up.
For sure.
I like how you've been playing.
And, right after we had that conversation, I think I had like the next two from me. So
yeah, because that was at half, right?
Oh, this is a mid-game conversation.
We had this conversation at halftime.
Yeah.
Shoot the ball, bro.
Yeah.
that was the conversation.
I literally told him, T-Man, I know you like dunking, bro, but you got to shoot some of these threes too. Keep them honest.
Yeah, that's exactly how it went.
I got to ask, because in the middle of the game one, I switched my shoes out just because of, the way I felt. I can tell when I'm not connected to the game or to the floor or to the ground. Like, I can just tell how my body is when I'm not at 100% of like feeling connected into the game. So I changed my shoes just so I can feel lower to the ground. We, of course, in the previous episode, we talked about you having a Rondo card in your wallet. What in-game rituals, or do you have any in-game rituals during these playoff games? Is there anything that you go to that kind of is like, all right, I feel good once I do this at this point in the season?
Nothing specific. I feel good, once I get my prayers in.
Yeah.
And I just lock in on the game plan. Once I go over the whole game plan in my head and I'm just, locked in, I go during the when they announce the starting five, I go look off into the crowd, get my mind right, go over the game plan in my head, say my prayers, and after that, I'm just I have to do that. If I don't do that. Because
I've been meaning to ask, but I know you're locked in at that particular moment, so I don't want to interfere of your process. But I do notice you like to hang back in the locker room a little bit, and you kind of go through a routine. What does that routine consist of?
I think that's just me feeling my whole body out, making sure my mind is right, just talking to myself the whole time in my head, listening to the music that they got going on there. And just, I feel like that's me grounding myself before I run out there. Because I used to run out there early and I felt like my mind would be everywhere. I didn't really ground myself yet before I played the game.
Right. Okay.
I think this year I started doing that. This is the first year I started staying back in the locker room and not going out as early. Just because I felt like my mind would be everywhere and I need to ground myself first before I just run out there and do whatever.
Got it. Yeah, I did recognize that, but I was like, that's his process. I'm not going to interfere with his process.
T-Man, I got to say this, Pete, just because you mentioned the Rondo card and I have it by my desk. I don't know if you remember this, but when we were in Vegas, I had you sign a card. And for all my card collectors out there, it means a lot to me that you sign the card. But what I do is I go and submit them and they go get graded. So it's on a scale from 1 to 10. And one of the cards that I had you sign is your rookie card. It's kind of hard to see, but this is in your Florida State jersey. There's only 5 of these cards ever made, just so you know. Only 5 of them. And it came back a PSA 10. So if you win the championship and you want this, you got to win the championship. But I wanted to thank you for the PSA 10 because of the Rondo card, and it's yours if you guys win.
That's a bet.
Ooh, that's love. I do want to shed a little light on the Kawhi situation. We're not here to provide updates or comment on his situation, but I do want to talk a little bit about the narrative that surrounds Kawhi, of that he doesn't want to play, which is simply incorrect, right, T-Man? Like, you talk about someone that is all about playing playoff basketball and is all about, even if he's not 100%, he wants to at least give whatever he can, and he did that in game 2. But just to drown the noise of that whole narrative, he was literally shut down because I guess the higher ups, I would say, didn't think that he was himself and didn't want to further harm himself by playing games with that he was not 100% on. So I just want to clear that up to all the fans out there. Kawhi is one of the most hard-working down to put it all on the line players that you can find. Sometimes it is better that, someone can see it from afar and kind of just know when someone is not completely themselves. And so, we wish Kawhi the best on recovery and, this process. We here with him. We're going to hold it down until he's back. But, we got two. We're going to take care of it too.
Sure.
On that note, T-Man, we want to thank you for connecting with us. Stay close to the action with AT&T.
I wanted to ask you one more question, P&B Nosy.
Oh, you got to go ahead. Fire
I wanted
it
to know
off.
what was this altercation.
Tell me, shut the fuck up, P.
Shut the fuck up, P. I wanted to know what was your altercation that you got into with old boy at the game. I got to be nosy. What happened? Because they didn't show it on TV the right way. When you came, you wasn't even in the game, and you came in right in, and something happened. You know what I'm talking about. It's the only altercation you had, T-Man. Talk to me. Tell me about it.
This happened recently?
Yeah, I don't know what it like. Enlighten me, too.
This is in Dallas?
Yes, it was in Dallas. I think it was your first game.
Tell us about it, T-Man.
You know what I'm talking about, T-Man.
Tell me something, JoJo.
He was telling somebody, get down, get out. Then they got in each other's face, and then you know what I'm talking about. Go, T-Man.
Nah, it was just a lot of, looking over at the bench and flexing. Kind of like, the series was over type energy. They, won the series type energy.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of talking, a lot of flexing, and I just lost it. Like I wasn't messing with it. So
yeah,
I had to go.
This is with a fan or this was with a player?
This is when
player.
Homie hit it with this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, the series was just 2-1. Like the way that, the way some people were flexing, it was like I would have thought we were down 3-0 or something, or like
right.
But there's something. So I'm like, yo, what's going on? It happened, second time, third time, fourth time. I just lost it. I'm like, yo, T, let me go in, T. Like,
because on TV they didn't.
Lose, like,
on TV they didn't show it like that. That's why I was like, what happened? And the TV didn't even know. They just know he got into it. They showed a little bit. So I had to ask you. I had to ask you, T. I had to ask. I'm glad you let us know that.
Well, there you have it. T-Man was standing on business.
Like he's supposed to.
On business. Shit. Hey, T-Man, we want to appreciate your time, bro. Thank you for connecting with us.
Oh, yeah.
Stay close to the action with AT&T at home or on the go. AT&T keeps you connected to the game you love. We'll be back with Rated PG after this break.
Keep shooting that ball, T-Man.
There are so many streaming apps, it can be hard to even find what you want to watch. But there's a way to outsmart the system. Prime Video.
It has all my live sports and docs in one app, like Giannis, The Marvelous Journey, and the National Women's Soccer League, both included with Prime.
Plus, you can buy Premier Boxing or stream the NHL and NBA playoffs on Max with Bleacher Report. Sports add on or add Paramount Plus for the Masters on CBS.
Prime Video. It's all of your favorite sports in one place. Restrictions apply. Prime membership is required for add-on subscriptions. See Amazon.com/Prime Video for details. Everyone's got a thirst, a drive to be the next big thing, to put the world on notice. And for me, to be one of the best basketball players on the court every night. So if you answer when your thirst calls, Sprite's for you.
My drive has got me to where I am today as an actor. Okay. And Sprite is for the makers and the creators like myself, the visionaries putting in the work to build their dream. Whether you're shooting a cinematic masterpiece on your phone, filing notebooks with sketchers, or up all night turning your bedroom into the booth. Keep going because thirst is everything.
Having equity and being a managing partner in my own mortgage company at the age of 35 has quenched my thirst to be as successful as I wanted. But even that hasn't stopped my drive towards greatness. Sprite is made for those who thirst for success and are working to make their dreams a reality.
So keep going and remember to be true to yourself. Obey your thirst. Sprite.
All right, shout out to my boy T, man, for coming through the podcast, P. And guess what, P? I'm bringing a retro back to the squad, baby. I'm bringing back Rated PG. Oh, yeah, baby, I had to do it. And we got a new little sponsor this time, because guess what Rated PG is sponsored by? Guess.
Who?
You want to know? By Prime Video.
Ooh, we got Prime Video.
Prime Video, baby, your all-in-one destination for live
Love
sports,
that.
hit movies and TV, and plenty more. Okay, you can find your happy place right there at Prime Video. Now check it out. This is how Rated PG works. It's where Paul George highlights under the radar players around the NBA. Okay, he rates them on their skills and he breaks down whether we should be watching them or not. But this time, P, because you're on the West Coast, we're not going to do you like that, where it's going to seem like it's some type of beef or something. I want you to pick the Eastern Conference young players who you think right now in the playoffs that's balling.
Well, right off the back, I gotta highlight that young Orlando Magic team. This being their first playoff run in I don't know how many years. It's been a while since Orlando has played significant basketball. So shout out that Orlando Magic team out in the East doing their thing, their young squad. Paolo and Franz Wagner have been incredible in their first playoff experience. Paolo has been an ultimate star. He's been phenomenal. He's been sensational, a true superstar, and he's playing against a tough team. That Cleveland Cavaliers team is very tough. They're very battle tested. They have leadership. They have veterans. They have, really all of the makings of being a good playoff team. But this Orlando Magic team is holding their own behind Paolo. He's been extremely consistent. He's been a scorer. He's been dominant. I love his tenacity. He's one of the most strongest players that I played against. I remember we played them, and he had plays where it was just, you think about man-child. He is a man-child, literally playing a man's game at such a young age. But he kind of reminds me a bit of Melo from a standpoint of the physicality. Melo was kind of like that, where you knew you play against Melo, you was going to be banged and bruised up just from, him constantly putting pressure at the rim and putting pressure on you to stay in front of him. And so I've been very, very impressed with his first playoff experience. And that Orlando Magic team is going to be good for a very long time. So shout out to Orlando Magic and, where they're at in their series.
Shout out to the Eastern Conference young players over there in the playoffs, man. So, yeah, I guess that's all for Rated PG then.
Rated PG. But before we cut the show, we got to shout out our fellow superstar from the WNBA, Candance Parker, on an unbelievable career. Shout her out on her retirement. Candance has been a friend of mine. We've always had a friendly, cordial conversation and friendship. I wish her nothing but the best on her next journey, which she has been phenomenal in that next phase of her career doing the TV analysis. So shout out to Candance, who I think, man, when you think about that 2008 year, it was absolutely incredible. And she will be a Hall of Famer from that season alone. You talk about AP Female Athlete of the Year, the Naismith College Player of the Year, winning her second straight national championship at Tennessee, second straight most outstanding player awards. Then to go and get drafted number 1 to the Sparks in that season on the all WNBA first team. Then to win Rookie of the Year and MVP in the same season.
God damn, keep going.
Only 2 people have ever done that. Wilt Chamberlain and Wes Unseld. I mean, it's just she's in basketball greatness and basketball royalty, and definitely should be celebrated and embraced for that. So shout out to you, CP3. We've been big fans of yours. And again, we wish you the best on the next journey.
Do you think that's the greatest basketball year by a player ever?
That's gotta be. I mean, if you're in conversation with the man that allegedly scored 100 points You are in basketball goldness. That's got to be one of the craziest seasons for a player. I mean, you heard all the lists or all the things that I just named. Like that. That's unheard of. To win Rookie of the Year, and that's like Wemby winning MVP this year.
Right.
Think about the year he would have had to have.
Yeah.
For him to be the MVP his rookie season.
She's going to go down, like you said, as beyond one of the greatest to ever do it.
Beyond.
And that's just what it is. And like you said, that's a big pat on the back. We shout out to you, Candance. We love you over here. And we can't wait till you come on the pod so we can ask you a few questions, since we'll catch up with you. Love to, just hear that, get that history on you. Let these young girls out there that's coming up in this basketball world, get some of that Candace Parker love on podcast piece. So, congratulations again. And hopefully I see your Hall of Fame, get a ticket or something.
He's downstairs. Hi, bud.
What's here?
It's here.
Okay.
Okay, you ready to close it out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want your headphones?
Let me repeat after you, Pete. Let's see already.
Can we get a Millie? Can we get a Millie Wop? Like, can we get something today? Like, there's some pressure on them.
Let's go. Potter. All right. Hey, we appreciate y'all tuning in to the episode. Before we cut, I had a special guest appearance. My little man wanted to come and bless the pod and do the outro with me. So y'all cool with that? Y'all good with that?
Cool. Come on.
We're ready. We're here for it.
Instead of you for now,
Hey, hey, come on. Son, can you give him a... Paul George. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate y'all for tuning in to the episode. It's been fun. Shout out T-Man for joining the show as well. And we'll see y'all on the next pod. Say peace out.
Peace out.
Peace out.